Ready?
Yep.
Go for it.
Okay. So first question, but where are you from?
I'm from Arcadia, California, over there by the mall and the racetrack.
Okay. So you said you started doing this at age 42?
Yeah.
What made you, like, at 42, what made you say, you know what, I'm about to build this shit in my garage, and was that your daughter? Is this your daughter's event or your son's event?
This is our event.
This is you guys' event?
Yeah.
What the fuck? Okay, look.
But you have to Delilah and call and invite a bunch of people.
Well,
over, so.
Eric and I got together about a year and a half ago.
Okay.
He's a 19-year-old daughter, and I have a 20-year-old son.
Okay.
But I also have a lot of young friends on the internet too. I hang out with one of our good friends named Mark. He goes to college in northern Arizona.
Okay.
He's coming out
We have friends all over the world: Norway, France.
So do you guys travel?
That is on the ship. He has a little bit to see.
I went to Detroit to meet a guy named Unify, who was a channel person.
They all come here. We have parties here, and they all fly
I went to Kansas. I got arrested in Oklahoma for marijuana.
No, you didn't, bro.
Yeah, the last time we all came in, they all came in.
You really got arrested in Oklahoma for marijuana? How much marijuana did you have on you?
I don't know, like a couple ounces.
A couple ounces? What do you mean a couple ounces?
Well, I had grown a plant that had produced a pound.
Okay.
I had plenty with me for the trip, right?
Oh, yeah, of course.
The problem was, I didn't pull over. I haven't finished the polio.
Yeah, explain it in this situation.
I got pulled over. I just finished cleaning the pipe with a torch like this.
Okay.
And the car reeked like fucking weed.
Right.
Because I said, well, you wanted to reek like weed more than even if you smoke it, clean a pipe with a torch.
Of course.
So there was no doubt that it smelled like weed. I also had my lockbox. I had the weed in a lockbox.
Okay.
But it was just sitting on the seat next to me.
You're a gut.
So they're like, well, it's obviously in that locked box.
Yeah.
Of course, being cops, they throw my shit on the ground before they bothered breaking open the lockbox. Of
course.
They broke it up and fucking one throw on the ground, it broke wide open.
What?
Worthless.
Lockbox? How the fuck is it locked in?
I know.
Damn. Okay. Okay, look. So, what's your type of what makes you happy, bro? What do you wake up?
This makes me happy.
This makes you happy?
This, among other things, yeah. Making music makes me happy.
But being specific.
Winning debate tournaments makes me happy. I'm a debate coach, too.
Oh, okay.
Hanging out with Kimberly, being here in this place, just like having shit going on around me.
Okay, so
happy.
Do you want to say that you definitely want to evolve from this situation, or you want to keep pretty much promoting this type of vibe type thing?
Talking with famous people is as much my autobiography as it is a project. It's like I've made so many videos, and many of them are just about whatever.
Okay.
And some about my life, about Kim or whatever, about Kim being a bitch or something like that.
Yeah.
Just like random stuff. But about Kim being wonderful. I like being in this relationship. I've been married twice before I met Kim.
Okay.
And both those marriages failed.
Okay.
So being in the right relationship makes me very happy. And the fact that Delilah likes Kim, that makes me happy. Things like that. Things that the slabs moving into place. Getting videos of people doing dancing party dance makes me very happy.
Okay. So, what's your if you had to have like an ultimate goal of what you're doing in life right now, what's your goal?
President of the United States.
Okay. That's something like I feel like a lot of people dream of at once in their life, not even to say like right now or whatever. Like at a point in their life, they all think about, I could be the fucking president of the United States. What made that like fucking realistic to you, where you actually felt like, you know what, I could fucking do this shit?
Because I'm the most qualified person.
That's some fucking confidence for you. I like that. Okay. Are you into like fashion with the youth? Are you up to date with the youth and what's going on in the youth?
I pick up some words occasionally.
Okay.
I picked up collect tonight. I don't remember, what was it mean again?
Collect? To be calm and collect? Just like to
Oh, be
yourself.
collected. Okay.
Yeah, you know, like to yourself, like you know, you
It's
got.
a short
It's collected without the.
Without
Gotcha,
the ED
okay.
in there. But yeah, collected. You know,
I
just to
heard,
yourself.
maybe a year or two ago, I learned the word smash, which means to have sexual intercourse with somebody.
In a good way.
He's
Yeah.
learned what yike is.
Oh,
What?
Yike.
I don't know what
Your
that
daughter likes to yike.
I don't know what
It's
yike
like
is.
when girls rub their booty on you. Got a whole lot of booty
Yeah.
action.
Have
Grinding.
you- yeah.
Grinding.
Have
You know?
you
Are you
met
writing
his
this down,
daughter?
Kim?
I have mentioned.
Delilah? She's a
Yeah,
handful.
She's a good look. Don't do that.
This is her daddy.
Don't do that. This is the pops right here, bro. Come on now. She's a good girl. Hey, we just gotta tell. This is the dad right here. He don't want to hear nothing bad about his daughter doing no.
She's not shy.
Oh, she's not.
She's not shy.
That's not a bad thing. Hey, she's not. But hey, we gotta respect those type of people.
Delilah
I respect those type of people.
Delilah
I literally respect those type of people, bro. People that want to fucking act all bougie and all that shit. I don't like that shit. Just because they came out with that song, bro, everybody tries to be on the bad and bougie shit. All these girls now, they want to be on like, oh, I don't want to do
Why
that.
don't you show
I want to
him
be.
April's video
I want to be looked at this way.
so he knows what he's getting into?
Well, you gotta understand.
Hold on, look.
He comes from.
Okay,
we'll come over here, April. Let's get your
Yeah, she
opinion
can
on
come
it,
in
too.
right now.
All right.
Okay.
it's a girl's please.
Okay, no, I got you. One more question
He
before
needs
you get
to
on.
see April's video.
Okay,
Do you have it?
I do, but hold on.
yeah, I got you. Yeah, I got you. We getting this. If you had to say, what's your type? Okay. If you had to say, like, you know what, these type of people, I actually see something in them, and I actually really respect these type of people. Not in the sense of race, in the sense of like what they do profession wise or nothing like that, but like in the sense of like personality, how they give off their energy, you know, like how they are interacting with other
I treat
people.
everybody the same.
You believe everybody's the
I
same?
treat everybody the same.
Okay.
As far as getting who I respect, well, it's individual.
I already feel that one.
Okay.
You know, I try not to put people on one side of that line or the other. You know, it's like at any given moment, I might be very disrespectful towards somebody if I think they're saying something stupid.
Right.
And at any given moment, that might be the case, but then the next 5 minutes later, I'm going to assume that we're all cool still, and that there's no damage done.
Cool.
So there's a bit of like assumption that other people don't value their own feelings as much as I don't value my own feelings.
Okay. Do you feel like there's an imbalance with the people in generations now versus people back then?
Mm-hmm.
And do you believe?
I mean, I think kids now are smarter.
You think they're smarter?
Yeah.
Okay.
Further advanced
Okay.
across the board.
Do you believe it's just because the world has advanced, or do you believe the kids have advanced?
People think like.
I mean,
Hold on.
the latter because of the former.
Okay. Do you believe things that you may have to do in your life back then, I don't have to do now, and I can still do some of the same things that you did, like it's accomplished?
I just think that you have much better. You've grown up in an ecosystem that is fluid with information, such that everybody can and therefore necessarily does learn from many more sources than Kim and I did.
Right.
Growing up, we didn't have any internet until I was like 20 or something, or 18.
Correct.
Not meaningful internet. So as a consequence, we were like freaks like me and Kim too, really. You know, even though Kim's a much more normal kind of freak, she's got her own weirdness.
Right.
The thing is, we grew up isolated. We grew up in settings that didn't support our natures, and there wasn't an alternative to the naturally occurring geography, the people around you.
Right. Okay. So, just being said with that, do you feel like that kind of separates you from being a genius to an average person? not trying to boost, like, you know, how people think about you and all that, but just kind of just exactly what you said, like, just giving the facts of exactly what you said. Does that separate genius and average person that thinks?
Well, the issue of genius is a curious one.
Right.
All I know is that it's an individual thing. It's not about generations, and it's not about
It's pretty quiet up there.
it's not about what you do. It's not about
I don't know.
it's not about the specifics of what you do. It's a matter of doing a lot.
Like how you do it, in a sense?
Well, put it this way. It's like, no matter how genius you are right now, you've got to give yourself, your future self, credit and be aware that there's going to be growth between now and your future self. Your future self should be better than you are now.
Okay.
And so as a consequence, the idea of a person being genius is, I think, you might say they're engaged in genius resonant processes over time, but it doesn't really stick to them. It's whatever thing they're saying in the moment is either genius or not, potentially. You know?
Okay. I like that. Okay. Do you feel like, say, you know, like how you said, in the moment you're saying things that are genius, and you actually realize that. Say, like, in the moment you realize you're saying things that are genius, and you start acting upon that. You know what? I said this shit was some genius shit I said. I'm a fucking genius. Is that truthful, or is that just based on mere moment?
What do you think, Joel?
That's a good question. I know the answer.
It's a funny question to ask because I'm in a weird position regarding that. The thing is, before anybody paid any attention to me at all, I would be ready pretty quickly to tell somebody, well, I'm a genius, so you just don't understand.
Yeah, period. Yeah.
But, you know, I've met a lot of smart people. I've met a lot of very smart people.
Right.
And,
Shit. Keep fucking.
and I know also that by some sort of literal description, I'm not very particularly intelligent. I don't have a very high IQ score, I don't think. So I would say that the reason for that is because my intelligence is very specialized. It's in a very narrow field. And specifically, it's in the field of argumentation and language and conditional logic and stuff like that.
Okay.
I taught logic and I use it obviously in debate a lot.
Right.
So as a consequence, I'm very refined in that one area. Plus, I'm 47. I've been doing it for a long time.
Right.
So the longer you do something, the more hours you put into it, you're going to get better at it. And then if it's within your natural skill strengths,
right,
then you're going to get really good at it.
Right.
So at that point, you're going to be like, since my thing is talking and convincing people of shit, it's very easy for me to be perceived as a genius because what I'm best at is managing others' perceptions about me.
What you think? Yeah, exactly. Yeah, I get that. Okay, is that some genius shit, or is that just you or is that just you manipulating the average person?
Hey, I'm not manipulating people.
Not necessarily, because I definitely I get what you're saying. I get what you're saying. I'm not trying to downplay you. Exactly.
No, you're not.
That's kind of downplaying because you're saying you manipulate.
I appreciate it.
Okay, look.
It's impressive.
That's a different word. It's a different word.
Yeah, you're doing a great job.
I'm manipulating, but I guess
manipulating, fine.
Kind of, not necessarily manipulating.
It's a question of
because it's not really manipulating because you're actually.
It's a question of awareness versus intention. Awareness versus intention. Yes, I can be aware that something's going to play a certain way and it's going to impact people's perception a certain way.
Right.
It doesn't mean that I'm manipulating them when I do what I intentionally would do normally anyway.
But you're saying you're aware of certain things that are going on. So isn't that you manipulating the situation?
No.
Because you're aware of what's going on.
Then,
so since you're aware, you're going to come at things a certain way That's kind of manipulating the whole situation to look a certain way.
But that would suggest that one cannot be aware without being manipulative.
But that's the average person. Some average people aren't aware of a lot of things that you are.
I don't know what
to me, I feel like there's like the world. I feel like there's average people that go to work every day. That fucking they just want to live for their family, pay their bills and shit like that.
Different specialties.
Yeah, people have their goals in life. Your goal in life may be talking about famous people. Other people would never fucking think of some shit like that. You get me? Like, so it's like just because you're thinking about that.
You're preaching to the choir here, bro.
I feel you.
Well, I mean, look, the thing is, Kim and I have conflict periodically because Kim thinks I come across as arrogant. But then, I'm not trying to be arrogant. I'm saying, like, the Kim, like, listen to me about this thing. I don't, when do I say that?
You don't need to.
You said her getting me in trouble for shit I don't do. Okay?
No, you for sure said right now. You used to tell people back then.
Back then, I would a long time ago before I met Kim.
I feel like
once I got
that you did back then still reflecting your future.
Okay, but look, my point is, but hold on.
Not say it.
But hold on there, Zip. It is absolutely true that I did say those things, and I take accountability for having said them. And part of that accountability means acknowledging that I'm wrong and changing my perspective on it.
I do agree with that.
So that's the perspective I'm focusing on now, specifically as the accurate representation of self, rather than the preceding acknowledged wrong state of being.
I definitely agree with that. But I feel like I do feel like there's gonna be times in your life where that past mindset will come into play.
It does.
Whether you don't say certain things that you did say back then.
No, it does.
Certain things that you do.
My mindset hasn't changed.
Exactly. Obviously, because you're a human
I've
being.
become more confident.
Yeah.
But
as you keep doing shit, it's gonna make you fucking more confident.
But I have to act less confident.
Of course, because that's just you being humble. But that doesn't say that still inner being of you being a fucking genius is not there. You're not going to take away exactly how you feel.
Okay,
you may adjust it for other people. Other people say, not you.
Okay. I think I'm a genius. Yes. Okay, fine. You wouldn't let me avoid it. Fine. I do, and there's nothing I can do about it.
You can't fucking downplay yourself, bro.
I'm not gonna lie about
being a genius is not like something you fucking shouldn't shy away from, bro. Like you should be like, bro, I'm a fucking genius. Like, yeah, that's some lit shit. People fucking hate on people that do shit like that.
You need to go on his channel and see his haters.
Bro, I like that, bro. That just shows me like you got confidence in yourself, bro. Doesn't matter who the fuck you're talking to. Whatever they fucking do, I don't give a fuck what you do. I'm a fucking genius. Whether you do that shit over there, I can do this shit right here. I'm a genius of it. I don't give a fuck what you do, bro. You're still a regular ass person. Like literally.
I'm a regular ass person too.
No, bro, you're not.
Okay, well,
you may be in the stage of being a regular person, but your actions don't resemble a regular ass person. God. That's what I mean.
I've never been quite picked apart. So it's impressive.
That.
I mean, it's
not like that, bro. But like how I was saying earlier, like people that influence their power upon people, and they're actually not even in the position to even really be influencing that power. Maybe they're they got blessed to be in that position where they can do that, but maybe their fucking mindset's not on the level of where they got positioned to be at, and they don't even realize that, but you do. Okay, you realize like, bro, honestly, even though you're right here, bro, you don't fucking know what the fuck you're talking about. You don't know all this shit. You're just blessed to be in that position, and you're just acting upon that, and you're trying to make that be your credit. That's not credit. You gotta have credit before you even get credit, meaning like your position or whatever you're at. This is having credit before you get to credit.
What you're talking about is rejecting symbols of competency in favor of actual competency.
Period.
Yeah.
Literally. That's how I feel about things.
Me too.
That's the things that get me pissed off. Like how you're saying things like, I don't give a fuck about the news and all that shit. To me, I be feeling like the news and all that shit is just perceptions of certain things in other people's lives. People things that go on in other people's lives. Everything on the news does not affect you. And people try to watch the news as if, oh, if I watch this, I'm going to be protected and things are not going to happen to me. No, you can watch the news all fucking day, all night, and you can still get fucked over at the end of the day.
That's not why people watch the news.
No, I'm saying certain people. I'm not saying every single person.
I think in general, people watch political stuff because they feel like they're on one team and they hate the other team, and then they're like playing this team.
I feel like people don't even know what team they're on. They're going through life trying to figure out what team they're on. They're not even knowing, oh, actually, I really believe in this right here, and I'm actually going to rock with this, and I actually don't like this because of this. People will just be like, oh, yeah, they said this, and this, and this, and this, and that's why I don't like it. To me, that's not valid. Just because you're going off of what another person has to say and how they feel about that, they have reason for why they feel that way. You don't have no reason. You're just going off of what another person is trying to get you to understand about them. Not even more so yourself.
Well, what's an example of something that people would do this with?
To me, like a big issue is racist. Like racism. People try to say like things that went on back then and try to influence it what's going on now. And you can't do that. Things that are going on right now didn't go on back then. Okay? Things that went on back then do not go on right now.
So what's an example of somebody making this mistake?
Okay, like people's perception on races. I feel like there's a huge gap with...
Okay, what's your take on race? Is that a joint?
No, that's a backwood. Backwood. You want it?
Yeah.
What's a backwood?
It's a pure leaf.
Is it tobacco?
Tobacco.
Oh, no.
Okay.
Thank you, though. I appreciate it.
It's a pure leaf, though. But yeah, fucking...
So what's your perspective on race?
What, race?
Yeah.
Okay, look. I'll give you an example. I ran into smart-ass white people, Asian people, black people, Mexican people, fucking island, whatever race there was, I've ran into intelligent and I've run into dumb. So at that rate, obviously it's not based upon race, it's based upon you. How I judge people is based on how you fucking present yourself. If you present yourself as a fucking I don't give a fuck about life, I'll kill somebody if this happens and all this, if this happens and all that, I'm gonna look at you a certain way. Okay? You come at me like, you know what, I'm about, spreading this, I'm trying to promote this and promote this, I'm gonna look at you a certain way. That's how I feel like life is based upon, how you present yourself. I don't believe it's based upon how the fuck you look. I don't. Because there's fucking millionaire black people, there's millionaire Mexican people, there's millionaire white people, there's millionaire everything. Everyone's went through something in their life to, where they could have said this was racist or whatever, but they got through it. So that's how I feel like racism doesn't exist anymore. Because you could get through certain shit. Whether you fucking dread on it and all that, that's on you.
Well, listen, you're going to have some problems because I'm transracial.
Okay.
I switch between races periodically.
Okay.
And every race I take very seriously.
Okay.
So I was Chinese for a while, then African American, I've been Mexican, I've been Eskimo.
Okay. Yeah.
In fact, I have a whole playlist called My Mixed Up Life.
Okay.
As a transracial individual.
Yeah.
Anyway, my perspective is race doesn't exist. I've had this argument with many people many times before. I try to tell them that and the point is, well, if you think race exists, then why do you disagree that I'm African American? And then can you please falsify that? They can't falsify it.
No.
It can't be falsified. And that's why it doesn't exist, because it's not meaningful as an argumentation. It doesn't meaningfully... Well, the only thing it can possibly be used to do is to reduce somebody to a member of a group that has no meaningful distinction from any other fucking distinction, and then reduce them to that, and those are your own perceptions about the group that doesn't exist that you're imposing upon the other person.
Period.
And so that's why I'm transracial as a means of demonstrating that race doesn't exist. When I'm in my debate team, we run race is not real as an argumentation block.
Yeah.
And we have evidence on it.
I mean,
God,
I definitely believe it because
Okay,
I mean,
another drink.
if you say racism occurs right now. Say there's some guy that really believes racism occurs right now. White people are against black people, Mexicans are against black, whites are against Mexicans, Mexicans are against whites, whatever, vice versa. Look, just take an example of your life. Just look around in the people that you are maybe going to work with, going to eat with, whatever the situation is. Look at this situation right now. We're doing an interview. There's multi-races in here. I don't believe things are based upon how fucking you look with your pigment. I don't. Look at this shit that's going on right now.
But the problem is this. This is the problem with race as a concept. When we worry about things like racism, then what we're not worrying about are things like transgression. So when you say like, oh, well, I'm concerned because the cops are shooting black people, then the problem shouldn't be that they're shooting black people. If you're thinking about their mental state, whether or not they're racist, then you're forgiving implicitly their actual behavior, which is transgressive and wrong. So if you want to stop cops from shooting people who shouldn't be shot, then focus on the fact that they shot somebody, not the cop's mental state, which is what people focus on. But okay, Kim wants me to stop this video. I think she's right. No, it's just good NI about timing. It's a good time to stop it. Good job. Fantastic job.
Yeah.
Amazing.
That's awesome.
I've never been seriously, you've like
awesome.
picked right, possibly ENFJ. So I'm
I was gonna say